This will be for the con assignment, visually assess standard deviation. So standard deviation is basically how spread out the data is. Okay, it's really how much the data deviates or differs from the mean. So if you have a narrow curve like so of data points, the data is not very spread out. Okay, none of the data is very far away from the mean. So that's going to be a lower standard deviation. Whereas if the data points are more spread out and farther away from the mean, that's going to be a higher standard deviation. So here they want us to order the data sets from largest on the top to the smallest on the bottom. Okay, so the ones that are most spread out are going to have the largest standard deviation. We're going to put those on the top. All right. So we can see the first one that's on top is the most spread out. It goes from 0 to 6. Okay. And we can see the one in the middle is the most compact. Okay. Most of the data is hovering around the center. So that's going to have less standard deviation than this one. So I'm going to left click on the center one and drag it down. So the most standard deviation is on top. This one's the next one, and this one's the next one. Okay. It looks like these are about the same because this one goes from 7 to 10, and this one goes from 3 to 6. It looks like they're about the same. But you see these higher peaks right here are closer to the center, whereas these peaks are toward the ends. So that's going to spread out that's going to make the standard deviation a little greater than this one. All right, let's see. Now all three of these go from 0 to 20, right? But you see this one on the bottom, these peaks right here, they're on the extreme ends. So that is going to make the standard deviation greater. There's more data points that are far away from the mean. So this one is the most spread out. That's going to be on top. All right. And we can see this one in the center is more compact because the extra dots or the peaks, the peak right here is in the center. Okay, so a large majority of the data is in the center, whereas this one here has some of the data on the extreme ends. So this one is going to have a lower standard deviation. We need to move it to the bottom. So just left click on it, hold it down, and then drag it to the bottom. All right, one more. Okay, clearly we can see the one that's the most spread out is right here. It goes from 100 to 200, and a lot of the data points are on the ends. They're far away from the middle. So that one's the greatest standard deviation. And now these two, they look about the same, right? But you see these peaks right here. A lot of the data is on the extreme ends, okay? And they're far away from the mean or the middle. Okay, so that makes the standard deviation greater than this one because there's more points on the ends. So we're going to have to move that one to the bottom. Whoops, made a little mistake. The ones, since there's more points on the ends, it has more deviation than this one. So I forgot we're going from greatest to least. So this was in the correct position. This one is the greatest because it goes from 100 to 200 and a lot of points are on the ends. This one is the next one up. Looks like these are the same, but these points right here, there's more points on the extreme end. So this one is the next one up.